Welcome to new era of Mama's stories. Let's begin. The narrative unfolds the poignant reflections of a mother who lies in a hospital bed, grappling with the harsh reality of her family's priorities amidst her critical health condition. After suffering 3 heart failures, she faces the painful truth that her own sons, Isaac and Benjamin, have chosen to celebrate a birthday party over their mother's imminent death. As she describes her solitude in the cold hospital room, the beeping heart monitor serves as a grim reminder of her fragile state, juxtaposed against the carefree celebration happening 30 miles away. Despite the medical team's urgent pleas for her sons to come, they dismiss her life-threatening situation for more trivial matters. Benjamin argues about the importance of a planned event, while Isaac prefers to enjoy festivities rather than confront their mother's failing health. This rejection of her needs evokes a deep sense of betrayal and rage within her. Her reminiscences reveal a lifetime of sacrifice for her children, recounting instances of resilience through abandonment, financial struggles, and emotional neglect from her family. The mother reflects on past sacrifices, such as working multiple jobs to support her children and giving her savings for their ventures, only to face disappointment when they fail to repay or appreciate her. Each moment of recovery she had endured, from her husband's abandonment to her children's indifference, has shaped her resilience, but this particular instance feels like the ultimate betrayal. The contrast between her own struggles and her son's current priorities highlights the deep emotional chasm that has developed over the years, culminating in this tragic situation where her life feels less valued than a mere celebration. In a poignant reflection on familial relationships and personal disregard, the narrator grapples with profound feelings of abandonment following a life-threatening medical event. After experiencing 3 cardiac arrests and being clinically dead for 4 minutes, the narrator's realization stems from the fact that while they were fighting for their life, their family prioritized a party over their well-being. The bitterness is compounded by the lack of communication from loved ones during their hospitalization, underscoring a perceived neglect that resonates deeply. As the memories unfold, the narrator recalls a simpler time when they devoted their life to nurturing their children, Isaac and Benjamin, in modest circumstances. They depict a loving environment filled with playful moments, underscoring the sacrifices made for their children's well-being and future, despite their own needs often being sidelined. The turning point in their relationship with Isaac appears to be linked to his association with a woman named Morella, who embodies a shift in family dynamics and infers a growing distance between the narrator and Isaac. This narrative captures the anguish of feeling undervalued in a familial context. The narrative follows Cecilia, a mother grappling with feelings of alienation from her sons, Isaac and Benjamin, as their relationships with their wives, Mirella and Diana, respectively, seem to overshadow her role in their lives. During a dinner at her home, Cecilia perceives an unsettling evaluation of her living space by Mirella, who suggests spending Christmas at her own place to uphold family traditions, leading Cecilia to experience profound loneliness, her first unshared Christmas meal in 25 years. Despite her years of dedication to cooking, her sons' compliments toward their wives' culinary skills leave her feeling undervalued. Cecilia describes the subtle, yet impactful, ways Diana manipulates situations to distance her from their family gatherings through passive comments about her wardrobe and cooking, emphasizing modern tastes over tradition. Gradually, invitations dwindle, with excuses shifting from illness to family priorities, leaving her feeling increasingly estranged. A friend, Linda, bluntly reflects on the situation, implying that her daughters-in-law are intentionally distancing her from her sons, a notion Cecilia struggles to accept. The emotional toll of this separation culminates when Cecilia sells her cherished home to finance her son Isaac's new house, desired by Mirella, illustrating her sacrifices for her children. This act underscores the shift in her identity from a beloved matriarch to a figure of obligation, merely showing up during emergencies. The profound sadness surrounding her transformation into a stranger within her own family life underscores themes of maternal love, sacrifice, and the painful dynamics of evolving familial relationships. In a poignant narrative, the speaker reflects on their relationship with their children, exploring themes of neglect, sacrifice, and the emotional toll of familial obligations. After moving to a small apartment without an elevator, the speaker visits their son Isaac and his partner Morella in their new house. Morella greets the speaker with an uneasy smile, indicating a tension in their relationship. The speaker feels unwelcome, reminiscent of a salesman caught off guard, symbolizing their sense of disconnection from the family. Despite presenting a chocolate cake, a cherished recipe for Isaac, Morella dismisses it due to their health-conscious choices, a metaphor for the emotional barriers between them. The emotional weight deepens as the speaker recalls their other son Benjamin, who approaches her directly for financial aid to save his struggling business. The request for $8,000 contradicts her instincts as a mother, leading her to insist on a promissory note to maintain formalities, emphasizing a need for assurance amidst the familial bond. However, swayed by maternal instincts, she eventually lends the money without the note. The business fails shortly after, leaving her with a profound sense of loss, as Benjamin trivializes the situation, indicating that business is unpredictable, a stark reminder of the fragility of dreams forged through hard work. The narrative escalates to an emotional climax during a birthday lunch at Isaac's house, where the speaker's 66th birthday is unsettlingly forgotten. Morella's choice of a light, health-oriented meal contrasts sharply with the celebratory feasts of the speaker's past. Benjamin's offhand comment about her tiredness, coupled with his distraction by his phone, encapsulates the disconnect and lack of awareness of the speaker's struggles. The speaker reflects on the preceding days, marked by physical and emotional fatigue, culminating in an epiphany: to her children, she feels dispensable, a realization that encapsulates the complexities of motherhood and the interplay of love, disappointment, and loss. This narrative is an exploration of the evolving family dynamics and the stark realization of one's worth as perceived by loved ones. A 66-year-old woman experiences intense chest pressure and related pain every night, which she dismisses as heartburn to avoid alarming her family. Despite feeling unwell, she puts on a brave face and reassures her loved ones about her health. The emotional strain intensifies when she learns about her daughter-in-law Diana's lavish birthday party celebrations planned for Wednesday, which she perceives as overshadowing her own birthday that had just passed unrecognized. The preparations for Diana's significant celebration include an extravagant gown costing $1,200 and a large guest list, which exacerbate the protagonist's feelings of exclusion and physical discomfort. On the eve of the celebration, her symptoms worsen considerably, manifesting as severe chest pain that radiates to her arm and nausea. Despite this, she hesitates to seek medical help, prioritizing Diana's party over her own health. A friend, Linda, insists on taking her to the hospital, as her symptoms align with those of a heart attack. The tension between the protagonist's health and her family's social obligations becomes a poignant theme, highlighting the emotional and physical toll of familial expectations and personal sacrifice. In a harrowing narrative, the author recounts a life-threatening medical emergency wherein they experience a severe heart attack. The story begins with Linda, a true friend, arriving at the author's apartment early in the morning, witnessing their distress. She insists they go to the hospital, where the author's pain escalates dramatically during the taxi drive, described vividly as a knife twisting in their chest. Upon arrival in the emergency room, the situation deteriorates swiftly. Medical professionals diagnose the author with a massive heart attack, necessitating immediate surgery. As preparations for surgery take place, Miller, the attending physician, inquires about contacting family members. Struggling with pain and sedation, the author provides phone numbers of their children, hoping for their support. Linda remains steadfast, holding their hand until the author is wheeled away, promising to be there upon their recovery. Post-surgery, the author awakens after several hours to find Linda nearby and Fiona, a nurse, attending to them. However, it quickly becomes apparent that the author's children are not present, igniting a painful realization. When the doctor informs them about the critical nature of the surgery and the attempted contact with their children, the author learns that their eldest son prioritized a significant party over their mother's potential demise, stating that she had always been strong and would pull through. This revelation triggers a profound emotional reaction, as the author grapples not only with physical pain from the surgery but also with the heartbreaking betrayal of feeling undervalued by their children. The realization that a party, complete with a lavish 1,200 dress, takes precedence over their mother's life stirs immense sorrow and disappointment. The author reflects on their years of dedication to raising their children, feeling an acute sense of abandonment as they confront the harsh reality of familial priorities and love. This moment encapsulates not just a medical crisis but a poignant exploration of familial bonds and emotional pain during the darkest of times. In this deeply emotional narrative, the author recounts a life-altering experience during a critical health crisis. While their children celebrated at a party 30 miles away, the author faced a heart attack alone in the hospital, leading to a whirlwind of emotions over the next 3 days. The narrative highlights the feeling of isolation felt when their children, particularly Isaac, call after being informed of the situation. Isaac's dismissive tone regarding the situation, emphasizing his and his siblings' prioritization of the party over their mother's health, serves to intensify the author's sense of betrayal and anguish. The distress escalates as the author recalls an encounter with medical staff, revealing the stark contrast between the children's prioritization of social events and the severity of the author's health. When the children eventually visit, accompanied by Diana, who had just enjoyed a successful celebration, their superficial concern juxtaposes sharply with the author's vulnerable state, dressed in a hospital gown with visible signs of medical distress. Diana's comments about the party, including details of its grandeur and attendance, further illustrate the author's sense of being neglected and unvalued during a life-threatening experience. Overall, the author poignantly captures themes of familial neglect, the clash of personal crises with social obligations, and the emotional scars left by the perceived lack of support during a critical moment in their life. In a tense family gathering, a woman reflects on her recent near-death experience due to 3 cardiac arrests, during which she was clinically dead for 4 minutes. As she addresses her children, Benjamin and Diana, she struggles with feelings of betrayal, noting that while she was fighting for her life, they chose to enjoy a party instead. Benjamin attempts to reassure her by suggesting they will visit weekly, but his offer feels inadequate to her. The mother feels a profound sadness and anger, realizing that they prioritize social obligations over her well-being. In a moment of clarity, she tells them not to feel guilty, as true guilt requires conscience, which she believes they have lost long ago. The exchange reveals her deep sense of abandonment and disappointment, encapsulating a complex mix of love, hurt, and disconnection within the family dynamics. At 2 a.m, Cecilia reflects on her past and future as she embarks on a journey to Dallas, encouraged by her cousin Hope, who assures her that this city is a fresh start. Arriving in Dallas at 10 a.m., Cecilia feels a sense of hope for the first time in years, greeted warmly by Hope, who symbolizes familial love and support. Hope enthusiastically describes Dallas, a city with opportunities and no judgments for someone starting anew at 66. With tranquil surroundings, her cousin's home offers both comfort and encouragement. As Cecilia settles in, she receives a call from Linda, who informs her that the letter she had been anticipating, the one explaining her departure to her children, was delivered. The family's reaction varies from disbelief to panic, indicating the weight of Cecilia's absence. Linda recounts the moment of revelation, showing how Cecilia's children are confronted by their feelings of loss and regret for their past dynamics. Overwhelmed by missed calls and text messages from her children begging her to return, Cecilia chooses not to respond, emphasizing her newfound independence and the significant shift in her narrative as she steps into a life where she is the protagonist of her own story, free from the burdens of her previous life. In this reflective narrative, the speaker, Cecilia, recounts her journey from a life devoted to her children, marked by self-sacrifice and unfulfilled desires, to a newfound independence and happiness after moving to Dallas. Initially, her family expresses concern over her abrupt departure and pleads for her return, acknowledging their past neglect of her needs and emotions. However, Cecilia recognizes that it is too late for reconciliation and transformation. Embracing her freedom, she establishes a fulfilling routine that includes daily walks with new friends, a part-time job at a boutique, and painting classes, activities she had long aspired to but previously abandoned for her familial responsibilities. Her reinvigorated life leads to a significant lifestyle change. A dance class introduces her to Mr. Harrison, a kind widower, who appreciates her presence without romantic interest, providing her with respectful companionship. As weeks pass, the tone of messages from her children shifts from desperate to resigned, ultimately expressing their respect for her happiness and a desire for her forgiveness. Cecilia contemplates the dignity and self-respect she has gained through her decision to step away from a life where she felt undervalued. She reflects on how this choice has allowed her to pursue her passions, including enrolling in a literature course at the university, an endeavor she had postponed for years. Cecilia's transformation highlights the significance of personal fulfillment and the joy of pursuing one's interests without the burden of seeking validation from others. She acknowledges the emotional distance between her and her children but feels a sense of peace and contentment in her current life, illustrating a profound change in perspective that prioritizes her well-being and happiness over familial obligations that had long caused her distress. As the author reflects in their diary on a pivotal decision, they recount the challenges and loneliness faced, specifically relating to their family dynamics. Turning 67 marks a transformative birthday, celebrated without the expectation of contact from their children, leading to a feeling of acceptance. A small party organized by friends from the park highlights an unexpected sense of love and value. This marks a newfound freedom, where the author embraces their identity as Cecilia, no longer defined by their past roles as a mother or a sacrificed woman. With a sense of fulfillment and empowerment, they look forward to each new day as an opportunity to continue living on their own terms, expressing gratitude for their journey and inviting readers to engage with their story. The author encourages support for their narrative endeavors and seeks audience interaction, creating a community around shared experiences and insights.